hangout area, the stargazing and sunbathing location.
Uh-huh.
My dream was to basically live wherever I want around the world, but without moving with, carrying all my stuff with me all the time. So the idea of the boat was to bring my home around the world. Hola. Todo bien? Good morning. How are you?
I wanted to explore other cultures and how they saw life and situations differently.
We were tired to leave the pattern.
I can work in Kiev, in other place, and doesn't matter where I am, the business wants to have results.
Yeah, so the way sounds good today. A lot of light.
I said to myself, okay, just think about yourself, not anything or anybody else, and do what you really want.
I'm Elizabeth Miner. I am the founder and the CEO, Chief Bottle Washer of Thrive This Day, and that is an international business and life coaching service. I work with people who are building businesses, mostly after they've had some sort of success in a corporate world, and helping them figure that out, how to take the myriad of ideas that they have and kind of just pare them down to something that they would like to do for the second chapter in their life. I do most of my client coaching online through video conferencing. I've recently been certified as an empowerment self-defense trainer, so now I also run workshops and such for self-defense for travelers and digital nomads.
Hi, I'm Lorenzo. I'm a slowly moving digital nomad. No, it's attached. I didn't.
Oh, it's
I
attached.
don't attach
But I think he's teaching.
Let's see. I'm an entrepreneur. I have basically two different companies that are both online based or mainly online. And I live on this boat that you see around us. Yeah, well, so far we've done Croatia, Greece a couple times, Malta, south of Italy, Spain, no, Spain, we have Spain later, but Sardinia, Balearics. I run my businesses online. I look for product, I find specific niche products in Asia and I import them in Europe. I'm the only crazy person who decided to import noodles into Italy. Before I was, of course, running a normal job, normal career. I'm an electrical engineer. In 2010, I said, well, what am I doing this for, basically? Why am I used to love the challenge. I used to challenge myself and try to always do better and career-wise and results to the company and things like that. And it was very important to me to always exceed my own expectations. And then at one point I said, but why am I doing all this? When I will be 70, looking back at the summer of 2010, I will say, well, do I really care about the results of my team of the second quarter of 2010, and it's 3% better than the first quarter, and the KPI of the company and the KPI of my team, and why do I really care about this shit?
I'm Andrea. I'm a location independent worker with 2 homes, one in Sweden, Gothenburg, and one here in Tenerife. I live with my boyfriend. He's also a remote worker. You cannot stop. I am a digital strategist. I work with people that are just starting out and helping them getting an online presence. And I've just started a mastermind which is designed for creative people who wants to start or grow their business, but they need a community and they need accountability and support and strategies like on a daily basis.
Everything you need.
You can.
For us, the daily life needs to be at the high standard. Not a vacation, not a gadget, not the car, not these things, but how it is day by day, when we wake up, when we go to sleep, the things we do in a day, that's important. And that makes for us a beautiful life versus a less beautiful life.
Hello, my name is Taras. I'm from Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm quality assurance specialist in e-commerce. This means that I testing storefront sites and make sure that they are made according to requirements and user needs. I can work in Kyiv, in other place, and doesn't matter where I am, the business wants to have results. Here I feel like I have 20, not 24, but 26 hours per day, because I start morning from my Ukrainian time and finish on Canarian time. So it's like, seems like, wow, so many time here.
What are your basic needs as a remote? What do you need when you arrive in the country as a remote worker?
First of all, internet, second laptop, and third is some privacy, like co-working or something else, because I cannot work at the home more than 3 days, because on the third days it became like wake up, open laptop, close laptop, and go sleep. So I need some border between my work and my hobbies and my home. I really need this. I cannot like manage a few things at the same time, like do job and some cookie and some speak with wife and so on. I need some space with a second monitor, with a stable internet, with the people who do more or less the same thing as I, because they also come and work and like you have this same wave.
My name is Ivana. I work in digital marketing. I create strategy for my clients. I create their Instagram and Facebook account. I take care of it, but as well I plan the visuals, what will be presented. And of course I also take care of it. I respond to questions of users and this thing. I love on this job or on this work the fact that I can work from anywhere when I don't need to meet the clients in person. So I can work here, I can work from my home, I can work from cafes, bistros. I can work from playa, beach, yeah. If I want, but it's not so good, yeah, because of the sun. But yeah, if I want, I can. Para mí, cortado y agua sin gas. Gracias, Francisco. I can change the place if I want to. So it's only up to me.
Currently, I live in Tenerife at 9 co-living.
What is a co-living?
Co-living is a space where it's somewhat like a dorm room of college or university, although I never went to university, so I'm not entirely positive. But it's a place where you share general living spaces and have private or shared sleeping areas. So it's a space where resources can be utilized by the whole group. and then privacy can be at your need level. I have done both co-livings and Airbnbs. I do a mixture of those. I also stay at hotels and friends and family. So I do a mixture of everything. Different co-livings have different styles. This one, 9 co-living, has more of a homey feel to it. And that was one of the things that enticed me here. It was an opportunity to have more of a community base that was built in. It does give me the opportunity to meet more entrepreneurs, and it gives me the environment where people are building things, which is really important to me. It's an energy, it's a vitality, it's a necessity, because I can be working, and at any given time of the day, there might be other people in the co-working space working too. So there's that camaraderie of the office.
Salt is here. We closed some offices in my previous company, and so some people had no office anymore and they had to work from home full time. And I've always heard them complaining about the fact that it's not so easy and it seems nice, but then once you do it, you get lazy, you never get out of bed, and there are problems. This is the living area, as I said, the sofa and office and kitchen. So I then experienced it firsthand, and it's been interesting. I had some moments in which I was struggling with the fact that going from the room to this couch to back to the room and never leaving the boat started to become a problem. So I had different times I started building some routine, because it's interesting that I used to hate routine when I was in a normal job, but a little bit of complete zero routine is also not good. So a little bit of routine is good, as long as you decide which one is the routine and when you follow it and when you don't follow it, and you're always free to break free from the routine.
So welcome to my new apartment. You really have to have discipline, because if you don't work, then you don't have money. For me, it was very difficult at the start. It was maybe the most difficult, because I'm like a free bird and everything will be as I want. Nobody will tell me what I have to do. I will do if I want to. So from my point of view, it was very difficult at the start, but very soon I realized that I have to have discipline. So I have to be very strong to myself to, okay, Ivana, no, this is the plan, you have to do something. So I usually do something like to-do list with the things which I really have to do today, and the rest, okay, it can wait. And for me important is to change the place where I work. So I usually work 2 days from home and then from cafes or other points.
Self-discipline is integral to being an entrepreneur, and it is even more so when you don't have the structure of a day-to-day routine. So absolutely, it's a really important aspect, and setting a schedule for yourself is critical, and I think it's one of the spaces that beginning digital nomads or location independent people, that's one of those soft spots that causes failure.
What is a typical day in your life?
The beautiful thing about this lifestyle is there is no typical thing. There is no typical day, which is part of what I like. That said, my days consist of writing, because I'm an author, and I also do blogs and content generation. It include a video conference call with a client. I might include an interview. I do a number of podcasts and such. And then it includes exploring. It includes, getting social media posts together, getting, again, more content, and meeting other people and exploring the culture in the land that I'm in. It's really important to me to get to meet people in whichever culture I am in.
And the chest.
Is it difficult to live this lifestyle, like traveling and working in different places as a couple?
No, I think it's. I can say only in my case.
Yeah.
In my case, it's easier, but it depends of couple maybe. If your wife have the same opinion, same philosophy, I think it's amazing. For now, my wife is on vacation, but if she want to job, she can try to find right now. Our position and our sphere, to be quality insurance or developer or front end in IT sphere, it's easy now to find remote job.
Definitely, it's much easier if both are on the same page. And I'm not just talking about work condition or contract, but like values and principles, priorities. Definitely, that's the key, whether you're location independent, remote, nomad, or whatever you are. But then in our case, because we spend quite a lot of time together, we definitely don't compromise on the place we rent. Like, it needs to have 2 separate rooms with a door we can close, and we work in separate places. I think each couple should, if they want to test out their relationship, they should move at least once. But move, not travel, not vacation, move. Like, leave everything behind and go in another place and see how that works. And if that works, then they can choose whatever.
Cafeteria. It was still my dream to be on my own, and of course I was afraid as well, but I tried, because important thing, I am just me. I don't have any children, I don't have a husband, so I don't need to take care of somebody. I just need to take care of me, and now I don't need so much. Yeah, okay, I have to eat, I have to drink, and I have to sleep somewhere. If I have these basic things, then okay, everything I can manage. Me as a woman, I'm just a little bit more scared what the future will bring me. So I need to have something like plan for minimum next 3 months. So yeah, the most important thing, I guess, it's this, that you don't have nothing for sure, and
No security.
no security, yeah.
As a single woman, this is a unique lifestyle for a couple of reasons. One, safety is always a concern and an issue. I feel very confident in my capabilities and my assessment skills to keep myself safe, but it's always a concern. So there's that. It's also, it gets lonely. It's just a fact. Being a nomad, and whether you're male or female, gets lonely over time. Even if you're surrounded by people, it's, again, those deep relationships that don't happen by having a conversation, where you're from, how long you here, what do you do, that it takes time for those to build. So without those, it can get lonely, and that's why having those connections long term and maintaining those long term in any way you can is critically important. And then, of course, dating is very, very difficult, because it's a unique lifestyle and it's not for everyone.
Contemplate life another time. Come on, listen.
Is it hard to be with people all the time?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I consider myself a flaming extrovert. That said, I do need my time to recharge. I do need my time away from others. And that's part of the reason why I don't ever do a shared dormitory. I always opt for a private room because I know this about myself. I know I need some space from being around people 24/7. Want some water?
Then it's about the family and having a kid, traveling, and how do you manage that?
Well, we had different plans because the original plan was first of all, before starting, we read a lot of blogs and vlogs about people living on boats with families, and there are many families living with kids on board, and all of them have blogs, so it's easy enough to find out how they live. And most of them are homeschooling the kids, so that was our original plan. And the ability to really move wherever you want because you're homeschooling the kid. But this didn't work out for us because we realized that our son is very, very lively, really needs to run and play and do things all the time, and it's very hard to make him concentrate on the books. We met kids who are much easier on that.
The big roundabout and...
Yeah.
Porukka mä taas sitä varaketta.
I scared you for the first time, Papa.
Yes,
But,
you did. Hello.
I'm going to go to football now.
Okay. Sorry. No, Leo, how was school?
The other part is that many of these other families, they have multiple kids. So when you have 2 or 3 kids of similar age, then they can play with each other. Even homeschooling, you can do it together with the group of 2 or 3 of them. So it becomes easier. For us, we have 2 children, but one is 21-year-old, so she's already in university and gone. The other one is 9 now, will be 9 soon.
Yeah.
So he lived with us on a boat since when he was 3.5 until 9. And I realized that it was too difficult to homeschool him. So we gave up on the homeschooling idea. And that's why we went from the original plan of moving whenever we wanted to the current plan, which is we move only in between school years. Basically, we spend 1 school year in one place so he can go to school, international school of course, and then at the end of the school year we decide if we want to move to the next place or if we want to do another year in the same place. And so that's our solution basically.
Ok, dime a dónde vamos.
We are going to San Isidro to visit my friend, and with him we are going to El Medano, and we will have some beers. I have a friend in Australia. She lives there for 5 years, and she told me when I spoke to her, she told me, "Wow, oh my God, I didn't have so many friends as you have after 3 months. I didn't have in 1 year in Australia because she's different." I'm a very open person in general, and I don't know how it is possible, but I made a context like from nothing. For example, I went to buy shoes. I talked with a guy who sell me the shoes. Yeah, it's one of my friends. The next person I met in taxi. Yeah. I think in my case it's me that I am like contact person. Many times here I had experience that okay, I talked to people and suddenly we talked 10 minutes and then said okay, and let's meet another time to know more each other. Yeah, of course, perfect. So this is how I do it here. It's not a plan. It's not even that I am go after that. It's like natural.
It's easy to meet people, sure, especially as a single traveler. Solo travelers have a tendency, in my experience, to meet people, whether it's on travel or in the community, because we don't have the crutch of having somebody else to always talk to. So there's an opportunity or a need actually to reach out as the individual more often, but there's also an opportunity for others to reach out to the individual because they don't already have something set up. That said, it's difficult to form relationships, which is because we're always moving. And even if you're in a co-living space, people are coming and going, and not everybody has the same travel schedule. So you meet people and then they leave the next week or what have you.
How do you feel home, even on the other side of the world? What makes you feel home?
Depending on who you are and what's important to you, you create the feeling of home around you. And in our case, it's important to have to live in a nice place, a safe place, both as in the village or the apartment we are, or like overall a nice, good vibe, feel good feeling kind of places. For us, it's important, and we were we were lucky, or maybe we have a sense of finding those places, but in very rare cases we were like, okay, let's get out of here, this is not for us.
I've redefined home for me, which is really important, I think, because otherwise I'd spend my entire time missing, right? So I've redefined home to be where I feel comfortable. And so I just make sure that I study the area, I study the place that I'm going to stay. I do what I can to make sure that I feel comfortable in a location. And from there, I just make sure I stay connected with those who are important to me. And that may be family members, it may be people I've met in other locations that I've lived, it may be people that I've met along the road, but it's maintaining those deep relationships that I have made over the course of time, because it's that which I miss the most, because as a new person at all times, you have superficial level of conversation at times, because it takes a while to develop the deep, meaningful friendships where you're sharing deep, meaningful conversations, right? And so that in lies the thing that I miss the most, if there is such a thing. And so I just make sure that I stay connected, and that helps me not miss anything.
We work much more than we did before when we were working a 9 to 5 in the office. Definitely much more, and we think all the time, and it's harder to switch off and just detach and leave everything behind and go. We are constantly thinking, and we're constantly creating and thinking of ways to do better. But because we have the flexibility and the control over our schedule, it doesn't feel that hard or heavy, because either we do the work we love or we do it in a place we like and we love.
And then you come here and you have the ocean and the palm trees, and then you see the and there you see the cliffs. I mean, seriously,
there's everything you need.
You can. Sometimes I can just start crying of happiness.
We have control over what we want to do, and we do all the things that we were only doing on vacations. We do now every single day, if so we want. If there's a call or a meeting, sure, the day is normal and we accommodate to the needs of the people that need us. But most of the days we have control over our schedule. And I think this is the biggest transformation and the biggest change, and that makes all of this worth it.
Living abroad, from my point of view, definitely improve your work. I have more inspiration. I have more fun from the job that I had before. I feel more strong, with more self-confidence. I am more productive. I like the feeling of that you can do whatever you want and that you can reach the stars if you want.
Exploring these different cultures and the different perspectives and the different way people think about things actually helps me to look at problems differently, to approach things differently. And so as my clients come to me with unique situations, I oftentimes have more breadth of opportunity to develop a solution. It has opened up so many doors. I have met so many people that I never would have come into contact with had I stayed in one spot. And it has helped other people identify that this is possible for them as well.
Tenerife, it's like I don't know, fantasy story. It's ocean and volcano and tubes and so on. So it's islands that you can open and open and open again and again.
What do you like the most here? What's the
ocean, the surfing. This is number one.
So after work you can go surfing and
Yeah. And not every day because I'm lazy, but it's it's good because I always can say I had a lot of job today. I not need to go to surfing when my wife asked me. But sometimes I'm so tired I should go to surfing, so I can some kind of manipulate with this and like make some balance that comfortable for me.
Yeah, so the waves are good today. A lot of white waves, so it's easier.
When we are here, we don't feel the urge, the need to travel. We can be at the beach, we can be in the mountain. The mountains are different, the beaches are different, the natural pools are different. The north is different than the south, the west to the east, and like the villages, the small towns, everything is different in a span of 10-20 kilometers or 20 minutes car ride. I can have so much diversity in the way I spend my time without taking a flight, without booking vacations, without just driving a little bit.
I love the actual weather, the fact that if you live in the south of the island, it's sunny every day. There's no cloud most of the day. Really, it's amazing. It rains 5 times a year. So I love the feeling of waking up and always seeing the sun, no matter what.